Good morning.
Good morning.
The end of the gospel, Jesus says, I came so that they may have life and have it more abundantly. But before we proceed with our reflection, allow me to read you Happy Easter. Because it is still Easter. And in a special way to the sisters, Happy Feast of the Good Shepherd. Alam niyo po, ang pinakaunang madre na kilala ko sa Manila ay pastoral sister, si Sister Puri. Alam niya ang unang krisis ko sa buhay doon. Sabi ko ni Sister, lalo pa yun, nasyak ako, ganito pala ang nangyayari. But that's another story. At the same time, I'd like to do it myself on the other happy anniversary. When you read the whole gospel, today's gospel, and put it in the context, mas maintindihan po natin what was the context why Jesus referred to himself as the gate and the shepherd. In chapter 9 po, the Pharisees would make a very serious accusation against Jesus. Jesus would heal the blind man. And when the blind man saw, the Pharisees would claim that Jesus was a sinner. That he could not come from God because he cured the blind man on a Sabbath. In other words, the Pharisees questioned the identity and the origins of Jesus. And to this serious accusation, Jesus would respond. He would reveal himself with the words, I am the gate for the sheep. I am the gate. And every Jew would know, and our studies of sacred scriptures would also remind us that the phrase, I am, was unquestionably understood as the name for God. When Jesus therefore said, I am the gate, he was actually identifying himself as God. The Pharisees accused Jesus that he is not from God. They would even go further. They would later accuse Jesus and his works as coming from the devil. And Jesus would respond to them saying, I am. As if trying to tell them, I am not only from God, I am God. Did the Pharisees recognize that Jesus was I am? No. Did the Pharisees believe that Jesus was I am? No. And did the disciples who were with Jesus at that time recognize and believe that their master was I am? No. It would be only after the resurrection that the disciples will begin to remember the teachings of Jesus and the identity of Jesus. And slowly, very slowly, they will also begin to believe that indeed, the crucified and the risen one is the great I am. That is why the readings in the liturgy during the Easter season is a kind of a looking back, babalik tanaw. The church, as it were, remembers the words and the actions of Jesus, the crucified, who is the risen one from the dead. My dear sisters, paano kayo ka ba ako nandito? Ang galas this. Today is Good Shepherd Sunday, and Jesus reveals himself both as the shepherd and at the same time the door to the sheep and the door for the sheep. He is shepherd. He is not just any shepherd. He is the Good Shepherd. And what characterizes a Good Shepherd? The relationship between the shepherd and the sheep is not functional, is not distant, is not remote. Rather, the relationship between the shepherd and the sheep is both personal and intimate. That is why in today's gospel and in the succeeding days, Jesus will say, I know mine and mine know me. Today's gospel, Jesus says, they recognize my voice and they will follow me. The intimacy, the personal relationship between the shepherd and the sheep is present. St. Augustine, in one of his homilies, would beautifully put it this way: God loves each one of us as if there was only one of us to love. Good Shepherd Sunday then invites us to discover the unique and the personal love of the Good Shepherd for each one of us. I have called you by name. You are mine. And nothing will ever change that. Not even sin, not even our decision to turn away from God would change God's decision to make us His own. And if we have already discovered that love, the invitation is to deepen that personal and intimate friendship with God. At the same time, Jesus also invites Himself as the gate. It is precisely because He is the Good Shepherd, so that He is also the gate. The Gospel does not tell us that Jesus will put out a gate. The Gospel does not tell us that Jesus will guard His sheep by the gate. The Gospel quotes Jesus as saying, I am the gate. He Himself is the gate. And we all know that a gate is a passageway so that a person may enter or leave the place. At the same time, a gate will also ensure protection and the safety of those who are within its boundaries. And so, when Jesus said, I am the gate, He wishes to remind us that it is through Him that we may have life and have it abundantly. Jesus did not promise a stress-free life, by the way. He never said that we will have a problem-free or a virus-free life. Jesus said, I came that you may have life and have it more abundantly. Sisters and brothers, allow me to repeat this point. The death and resurrection of Jesus made it possible for us to share in the life of God. But the death and the resurrection of Jesus was never an assurance that from now on, life would be easy for us. As we celebrate the feast of the Good Shepherd, it may be good to ask a difficult and an honest question as we face the reality of today. Where is the Good Shepherd today? Where is the personal and intimate care and protection of the Good Shepherd today? Times are difficult. Many are dying. Others are getting sick. There is still no vaccine available. We do not know when our situation will finally change and we can go back to normal. Where is the Good Shepherd today? With these questions, we may be tempted to think that all this Good Shepherd stuff is just another one of those mushy, emotional, sentimental high that we get from religion. With all these things, we may even be tempted that celebrating your feast day today is nonsense because it will run incongruent, inconsistent to the problems that we are facing now. To celebrate an anniversary today is unthinkable because we are faced with all these difficulties. In the face of all this, my dear sisters and brothers, let us remember that when Jesus said these things, the Pharisees did not believe Him. Let us also remember that when Jesus said these things, even His disciples, His close friends, did not understand what He was talking about. Kung Tagalog siguro yun sila ng ano daw. Nagtataka kung anong pinagsasabi ni Jesus. It would only be after the resurrection that they would begin to understand these things. And it would only be after the breaking of the bread that the disciples would begin to recognize who Jesus really is. There is this poem that is attributed to St. Teresa of Avila. You may be familiar with this poem, and I have in fact used them recently in one of my homilies. But I find the message of this poem very timely for today's gospel. It says, Christ has no body but yours, no hands, no feet but yours. Yours are the eyes through which He looks compassion on this world. Yours are the feet with which He walks to do the good. Yours are the hands through which He blesses all the world. Yours are the hands. Yours are the feet. Yours are the eyes. You are His body. Christ has no body now on earth but yours. Unquote. Dear friends, you are the good shepherd. We are the good shepherd. And this happened when we were baptized into Christ. Christ has entrusted to us the mission of caring and protecting, not only for ourselves, not only for our communities. Christ has entrusted to us the mission of caring and protecting, especially those who are forgotten by society. Christ wants us to reveal to others who He is, that He is the good shepherd, that He lays down His life for His sheep. And beautifully, if I may digress, one bishop would reflect saying, and where did Jesus express to the utmost His giving? On the cross. And what happened on the cross? He could not do anything. It was as if it was a useless act. It was an action of defeat. On the cross, Jesus, as it were, did nothing. But on the cross, Jesus revealed how much He loved us. And because of that, the Father would glorify this action of love. My dear friends, Jesus, the Good Shepherd, is revealed when the faith is taught, when the pastoral needs of the people are being attended to. When you continue to be faithful to the charism given to you, you reveal the Good Shepherd. The intimacy and the concern of the Good Shepherd becomes real when you cook the food and you distribute it to our street dwellers during this time of the pandemic. The Good Shepherd is revealed when you care for the sick and when you take time to prepare the food and pack them and distribute them so that others may have something to eat. The Good Shepherd is revealed in actions that people may never understand until together we break the bread. The mission is not ours. It is entrusted to us by Jesus, the Good Shepherd. In the same way, the priesthood that I celebrate today is not mine. It is entrusted to me by Christ, the High Priest. And we can only do one thing, to thank the Lord for trusting us and for entrusting to us the gifts of mission and the priesthood. In this Eucharist then, let us ask Jesus, the Good Shepherd, that He may grant us the grace to know Him more deeply and to recognize His voice more intimately, so that we may follow Him more closely as we serve God's people more passionately. Alam ko umahaba na natin. Allow me to end the story. This is for the World Day of Vocations. An actor is said to have performed in a concert, and because it was an income-generating concert, so to speak, he ended up with singing, "The Lord is my shepherd." You may have heard the story. And people clapped, people appreciated the beautiful voice of the actor singer. But the parish priest, who was the organizer of the whole event, was seated watching. And the actor very kindly approached the parish priest and said, "Father, I think you can do a better job. Why don't we end the concert with a prayer for Good Shepherd?" And so, pinakamahan ng Father, he bowed his head and started to say, "The Lord is my shepherd. There is nothing I shall want." And when the prayer finished, there was no clapping. There was no applause. And the actor noticed, maski siya, people were just teary-eyed as they listened to the prayer of the priest. And he said, "I know the sound. You know the shepherd." My dear sisters and brothers, may we not only know the sound, may we know the shepherd. Amen.